Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing the ultimate drugstore sun-kissed look. So we're going to be recreating kind of that like bronzy, tanned, slightly sunburned look. So like a really nice flushed look on the skin. So let's just get started. Starting off with the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. This one is in the shade medium. I'm just going to apply this all over the face. You can use your fingers. I'm just using a brush because it's a little bit quicker. So I'm just applying a thin layer over all of my skin so that I just have a glow pretty much all over my face, just so that my whole face is looking nice and radiant underneath the makeup. Because I want this look to be glowy, dewy, luminous, juicy, I'm gonna be mixing a couple things. So I'm gonna use the L'Oreal True Match Skin Tint. This one's in the shade 5-6. It's a little bit dark for me right now, so I'm gonna mix in a tiny bit of the Neutrogena Serum Foundation, and this one is in the shade Medium 1. I'm gonna mix in a little bit of the NYX Cool Drops. And I'm just gonna lightly apply this all over. Usually that L'Oreal skin tint is like the perfect match for me, but because I'm not as tan as I usually am, it's a little dark, so I just need to mix in like another drop of a serum foundation, and that just helps, you know, lighten it up a bit so it matches me better, but it doesn't interfere with like the coverage or the way that the foundation looks. I'm gonna use a couple different concealers. So I'm gonna pop on the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer, just like 3 dots right under my eyes to add a little bit of coverage. And then I'm gonna take the Neutrogena Creamy Concealer and I'm gonna pop this like right in the center of my forehead, a little bit here, just to help disguise some of the shadowiness on my face and as well as some of the redness. And then just to like brighten up under my eyes, I'm using the Morphe Hide and Peak Concealer, just a touch. This is really nice because it gives you that like ultra beamed up wide awake eye. Lightly blend this out. I'm gonna take a little bit on my eyelids too, just like a light veil of this concealer, so I can use it to prime for some shadows underneath and just blend it out. We don't want to use a lot of concealer because we're not trying to get like a full coverage look, but just enough so that you have a little something. To get the base looking even more skin-like and really natural, I'm gonna take the NYX Bear With Me spray. I'm going to spray it on a beauty blender. Just soak the beauty blender. It's going to pick up any excess product, but also just further push that into the skin. And I always find whenever I do this, my base always just looks extra perfected. And it only takes a couple extra seconds to do this step, and I think it makes all the difference. It just really almost like fuses the makeup with your skin so that it looks more realistic. To set this base down really quick, I'm gonna use the Essence My Skin Perfector. This one's in the shade Medium 30. I'm just gonna tap a tiny bit, you can just barely see it, just a touch into the lid. And I'm gonna tap just a little bit right under my eyes. And it actually has a really nice soft blurring effect. And even though it kind of looks like this powder would be really dark, I find it to be quite translucent. Like you see, it looks dark in here, but then when it's on the skin, it doesn't cause any darkness. I'm gonna take the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm gonna pop that into the crease of my eye just to add a little bit of definition. This stuff smells so good. For eyeshadows, we're going to be using this incredible L'Oreal Quad. So this is the Pocket Palette in Boudoir Charm. Really stunning sunburned type tones in this. So I'm gonna start off with this gold tone. I'm gonna pop that right in the center of the eye. Then I'm gonna take that burgundy shade and I'm gonna pop that right on the outer and the inner corner of the eye. Buff a little bit of that bronze shade just right into the crease. Gonna pull it up there so it just feathers in a little bit more. Just like a soft smoke, not too intense. I'm gonna take that light pearly shade, use that right under the brow bone, just to kind of brighten that up a bit. These shadows are so good. I'm gonna use this stunning bronze liquid liner from Hard Candy. It is the Stroke of Gorgeous color liquid liner, and this is like the summer eyeliner. It really just looks so beautiful. I love brown liquid liners when I can find a good one. I'm just gonna do like a little line like that, and then while the liner is still wet, I'm just going to gently with my fingertips smudge it out just a touch and just keep that lash line as intense as I can and give it just a little flick on the end like that. Take a little bit of that bronze shadow and just like really lightly smudge that onto the lower lash line. I'm gonna hit the waterline with a brown gel liner too. This one's from Hard Candy. Now we're gonna add a little bit of definition to the face, so I'm gonna use the Physicians Formula bronzers. I'm gonna mix these two together just to get a little bit more of a shade that's in the middle, just to warm it up a bit. These are really silky and creamy, so they blend in very nicely. They're just like an easy product to use, and I feel like they always look really nice and soft, but you can still build them up to get some intensity. Just add a little bit more of a luminous finish to the bronzer. I'm gonna mix these two Revlon bronzers, 110 and 115. It's just gonna give the bronzer a little bit more reflectiveness and just look a little bit more luminous and less matte on the skin. So to really replicate that like sun-kissed look, we're gonna mix a couple different blushes, starting off with two creams. I have Bahama right here from e.l.f. and then Bali as well. I'm gonna start with the lighter one, Bahama, and we're gonna apply that almost like right under the eye and on the edge of the nose to get a little sun-kissed action right there under the eye area, so you get that little bit of heat. And then I'm gonna take Bali, which is a little bit more of that Bordeaux shade, but this is what really replicates the suntan so nice. And we're gonna use that darker shade right from about apple and lightly tapped towards the back of the face. And then we're gonna top it with Milani Luminoso. Luminoso is gonna give you that really pretty glowy cheek. I'm gonna highlight the skin with this loose powder from Wet n Wild. Right on the high points of the face, I always like to take a little bit up here. I think it just gives you a little something extra. And I'm really just lightly tapping. We don't wanna go overboard with the highlighter because we just don't want it to, you know, be like too much highlight, but just enough to give yourself that little bit of glow. I'm using e.l.f. Lift and Snatch Brow Gel. I really like how this has little fibers in it, so it just gives you a little bit more of a fluffy looking brow, and it's just super soft and natural looking. So I'm just lightly combing this through. I also like how it has a tint to it, so it just gives my brows a little bit more shape. It just makes them stand out a little bit more. My face a little spritz. I'm using the NYX spray again. I'm gonna take a little lip pencil. I'm using Cappuccino from Rimmel. Mascara, I'm gonna use the Essence Double Trouble Mascara, and this is the waterproof version. I really, really like the brush of this mascara. The bristles are just nice and plush. Even though they're plastic, I would describe them as plush, and they give you that effect that I always want from mascaras, where it's like lengthened and separated with just a touch of wispiness. I don't really like super volumizing. This makes my lashes look like so long. I'm also gonna put a touch of this on the lower lashes. And I'll do a couple coats of this mascara because I really do like to build it up. For lips, we're gonna start off with the Ulta Weightless Water Lip Stain. This is a Benetint dupe. I put this on TikTok and I did like a side-by-side comparison of this with Benetint. They look identical. See, like once it dries and you start building it up on top of itself, it, you know, picks up in intensity. I'm gonna take this Revlon Matte Light Lip Crayon. The name of this shade ripped off, but I'll put it in the description box. And these are so nice. I don't want like a full-on opacity because I want this to look a little bit more soft. And then we're gonna pop on the Maybelline Gloss in Sun. Bring back a little bit of juiciness, just to bring back a little bit more glow onto the face. Okay, and let's do like little freckles and moles really quick too. Putting little freckles on just like helps make the base look a little more transparent, like you have like a little bit less coverage on the skin. And you can get fancy with it and like put some in the brow area and like around your eyes. I think that helps make it look really realistic too. By putting a couple in a few random spots, you might see it just makes the freckles look a little bit more believable. I absolutely love these tones during the summer because I think it's just so complimentary to the weather and the colors that you wear, and I feel like it's just a more, you know, glamorized take on a vacation look. And I really think the trick is using a couple different bronzers so that you have more of a multi-dimensional bronze look, and then using multiple blushes and really strategically placing them. So putting the lighter one like closer to the under eye, and then you can take the darker one more up in this region. Obviously you can switch it up a bit depending on your face shape, and then you put the luminous blush like right on the apple of your cheek, just stamped right in the middle, so that when you smile, the luminous blush really catches the light. And freckles are the move too. Just doing a couple faux freckles, it really lightens up the base, makes it look a little bit more natural, or like your freckles are peeking out from behind a tinted moisturizer type of vibe. And then I also feel like just doing a nice light stained glossy lip is also the move. It just kind of keeps the look a little bit more light because we did go a little bit more intense on the eyes, but you can still get, you know, that nice sultry vibe just from doing like some eyeliner. So if you have any questions about anything that I mentioned in this tutorial, please feel free to let me know. If there are any other specific tutorials that you want to see, let me know. I really was just feeling inspired by like summer tones and some of these drugstore products, and I haven't sat down and done like a proper like old school makeup tutorial in so long, and this was so fun. I really like filming stuff like this for you because I think it's just like fun to show looks and like how I would create them. So yeah, I'm gonna list and link everything, and I think that is everything I wanted to say. Please be sure to come follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Like I said, I've been posting a lot on TikTok lately as well, and I have tons of beauty content on there. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye!